The Bulldogs, they are having a party at Belmore. They're absolutely flying, winning their first 3 games of the season, the only team to do so. What a start. They're going great guns.
To do it yesterday without Burton and without Kickout, $2 million a year cap. Tough win, but they got it, and no other sides won 3 straight. It was outstanding.
Mate, it's been an astonishing rebuild in such a short time, hasn't it? A couple of years they've turned this joint into a contender, and I mean they're top 4 chances this year, and if you finish in the top 4 and you're fit at the right time of year, anything can happen.
3 from 3, first time since what, 2012. I don't think the rebuild is anywhere near finished yet, but the way they've won their 3 games, they've won them all differently. I mean, they haven't. You're like, they're hard working, but they've just found ways to win. And those were really committed Parramatta side yesterday. They were up for the occasion. They made some mistakes early, but that was a really tough, gritty win for the Dogs. And I think we spoke to Sexton. He said that's the toughest 40 minutes of football that he's played. So they did it tough as well.
Well, as you guys mentioned, Burton and Kickout out, but it was their defence that held strong and won them the game yesterday. And they just seem to improve every year, every week under the guidance of Cameron Ciraldo. And obviously Gus has done a great job of that. We're going to get to that, and we'll speak to the Laundies about it later on. But their sponsorship and memberships have gone through the roof. They already had big numbers, but they're getting even bigger.
Well, Reedy spoke about where they've come from 2021. You know, they won 3 games of footy that year, 3 games of football. Since then, their it's just gone cuckoo at Belmore. Their merchandise, their merchandise is up 500%. Their crowds are up from 13,900 to nearly 25,000 a game. Commercial has doubled. Membership 16,000 to 25,000. And you know, last year, just on their socials, to where the young supporters are coming from, the TikToks, the Instagrams, they had 150 million views last year just on socials.
You a fan of TikTok?
I'm not. I have enough drama on Twitter or X to worry.
How many fans do you have, Buzz?
98,000.
That's a robot.
What have you got?
I don't know. I don't worry.
Have you reached double figures yet?
Please. They're a big club though, Braith. We knew they were a big club, right? It was only. It's a bit like the West Tigers. You've got to wake the sleeping giant. We've seen it happen here at the Bulldogs. When you win, people come out of the woodwork and want to be part of it again.
Great colours too, isn't
mate, it's amazing. And you see the streets of Belmore when they win. It's just crazy. It's so good for rugby league to see them thriving.
They've always had a big fan base, and they've always had some of the most passionate in our game for a number of time now. It's good to see them celebrate.
You being an ex-Dog, do you like watching where they're at now?
Oh, it's the best. I mean, because there was...
Yeah, but you're an East man. You were a rooster.
I've always been a doggy. If you played 16 years of first grade for 2 different teams, you could support 2 teams too, but you didn't.
Well, what are you going to do when they play each other?
I'm a happy man. It's win-win. It's win-win. No, in all seriousness, though, it's great to see him do well, Gordy, because, it wasn't long ago we were sitting on this panel for a long period of time going, what's happening there? Buzz's phone's ringing. Is that Gus? No. Anyway, it's a long period of time there where, they had lost their DNA. Their culture had gone. That old Bulldogs tough mentality, seize mentality had gone. And they were just in a world of hurt, and we were quite critical of them, and rightly so. But they're back, and it is fantastic to see. Now, who takes the credit here? Not that we're going to just put it on one person.
It's a team effort.
Gus and the Laundies have obviously played a big part in this.
Massive.
Who takes the credit for this?
I think Cameron Ciraldo, just for being patient. I think everybody that's been involved to get him to the situation. I think Ciro walked into a pretty good joint, but the players have worked really hard and bought in as well. So you can deliver a message, but unless the players grab it and go, mate, I think it's collective.
Yeah,
I don't think you can put it all on one. I think Gus is a genius. Like, I really do. Like he's got the Midas touch. If you look what he's done at Penrith and now the Dogs, there's probably no one greater than him at doing it. But
I think it's the board level as well, because remember they had problems at board level, and every club that has had problems at board level normally infiltrates through the team. You're a big Gus fan.
I can't bag him at all. He has done a terrific job there. You've got to give him credit for that. He hired Cameron Ciraldo. What I will give Cameron Ciraldo a lot of credit for is his relationship with all those players coming through the grades at Penrith, the Billy Kickouts, and I know he signed before that, but Matt Burton and Stephen Crichton, was so close to Cameron. And I think they signed for him as much as they did Gus. And I'm not taking anything away from Gus.
You're right about the board, though, Braith. And we spent a bit of time with Adam Dreesy in Vegas.
Adam's
and Aaron
Adam,
Mate,
he's kind of unsung there.
He's
Adam.
a smart dude.
I talk to Adam
right?
quite
really
often.
Clever guy.
Doing a great job for the club.
And he's helping them attract players, and he's happy to work with Gus to make things like that happen. Then you throw in the Laundies and the financial muscle that they've given the club. I think they've committed their sponsorships 10-year. It's got the capacity to be a 10-year agreement. I mean, that shows how much faith they've got in what Gus and Adam and Aaron Warburton are doing at that place.
I was going to give Aaron Warburton a rap, the CEO. I think he's really impressive. All those figures I spat out a couple of minutes ago, he's the Chief Executive Officer. He's driving that commercial growth. Obviously, he's done it on the back of a winning football team, which Gus and Cameron have created.
Yes.
Oh, winners grow.
Yeah, team effort. They're doing a great job, the doggies. And once again, we're going to have the Laundies on our heavy hitters segment in not too long of time. Now, it might be the strangest penalty ever given. Josh Curran impersonating the referee. Here's how it happened.
Go to. Matt, you're up. Matt. Nah. You call Matt offside and pull him out. That's against the true spirit of the game. You're calling a bloke offside.
It's caused a bit of a stir, this one. Was it gamesmanship or against the spirit of the game? Did it deserve a penalty?
It happened a lot through my career, but that was old when the referees went mic'd up, stay out of it, or you're offside, or all that kind of stuff. So I think it's in the game. I think it's the sportsmanship of the game.
Yeah, but the thing that's being overlooked here, Gordy, is he was offside. He was standing in off. If you're standing in the defensive line, you call that out. That's fine, right? Or you're in the attacking line, you call it out. It's fine. He was standing in the defensive line, so he was offside, and that's what made it.
You sound like
look where he is now. Look where he is, Buzz.
Yeah, I know that.
He's standing where the referee would be.
But you've spoken to Graham Annesley, and you're giving
as
our
you
view,
have, as you have
I
several times tonight,
which I don't agree with. Graham Annesley is giving the NRL version that he was loitering.
He was.
The word he used in the ruck, and he was penalised for offside. I said, no, he wasn't.
Look again.
He was penalised not for being offside. He was penalised for imitating the referee.
Yeah, but if
the referee said that reading.
Yes, but if
so now they're trying to escape any criticism by saying it was offside.
Do you think that shouldn't have been a penalty? You're not,
no, it wasn't an offside
eh?
penalty, but it wasn't a not in the spirit of the game penalty, is what I'm trying to say.
Of course it is.
So it's not.
So a bloke stands offside, stands where the referee would be, and impersonates the referee.
There's players like that in every game. If the referee's standing a bit over and he doesn't quite hear
it is there. There's the rule. Behaves, in any way contrary to the spirit of the game.
How can you define? I don't know how you can defend that.
Isn't that sportsmanship?
No, it's cheating. It's actually cheating, Gordon.
Is it?
Yes.
Brent, Paul Langmack ran me last night. One of the game's most colourful characters. He played with Tugger Coleman, he played with Terry Lamb, he played with all the mad Wiz Freeman. He said, used to happen every week. We'd get penalised every week for calling blokes offside, for calling for the football.
Yeah.
But all they had to say was you're penalised for loitering and being offside. No one would have cared, but because they've brought this spirit of the game thing in, they've left themselves open to criticism.
In my opinion, defence of the NRL, it does happen, and Gordy and I have seen it with little smart asses, and it's all fun and games, right? And players calling for the ball and calling players out offside, and it's happened forever. But what I will say is that Curran is in the position and the pocket where the referee is. So he's standing right next to the referee and he does call him offside. And really, I suppose you talk about gamesmanship. Normally players do it when the referees aren't around and they try and they get away with it because that's sort of the challenge, is to try and pull it off without anyone knowing. He's standing next to the referee in the referee's position.
I've never been on a football field like you fellas.
I know.
But from people I talk to, you know, do you think?
Well, obviously.
But you can't penalise him for loitering the ruck.
What I would like
hasn't
to say
interfered in
is,
the
and
play.
what players have told me over a long period of time is, there'd be a dozen things every game that are not the spirit. People trying to get an edge.
Not like that, though.
Buzz, you cannot...
Not saying you're offside.
Buzz, you cannot penalise him for loitering in the ruck when he actually hasn't interfered in the play, physically. He's out of the play.
Graham Annesley said he was offside.
If you were to penalise every player who stood where he was, just for standing there, you would have 50 penalties a game.
But you know you're wrong
what
because...
he penalised him for was loitering in the ruck and interfering in the play by impersonating the referee.
Oh, so it's a double
what made
whammy
it
now,
different.
is it?
Well, that's what makes it
Well, the
different,
NRL
Buzz.
told me it was loitering in the ruck. They reminded every player as part of a
Well, we'll see 50
email that went
penalties a
out.
week because that happens
We won't see
10
another
times a
one like
game.
that again for the next
No,
10
but
years.
I'm saying if it's just for loitering in the ruck like he was, we'll see 50 penalties
He's
a
in
week.
grade 1. Contrary.
If they, you know what, if they charged him, I wouldn't have cared. It would have
Yeah,
added to
you
the story.
serious?
I hear the
I
story.
think the whole thing's an overreaction. I just
That's
think.
what I tried to say.
No, but I mean, like, I don't have a problem with the penalty because of where he was. He was standing in the referee's position. He called him offside. You know, it's deceitful.
The referee made the right decision.
It's not a bad. Yeah.
The referee made the
He
right
didn't get
decision.
it wrong. That's the
Yeah.
bottom line.
He made the right decision.
Yes.
I wouldn't have given it a penalty though. I wouldn't have if I was referee because I would have went because it happened all through
you
my
would
career.
have done a
do, boys?
million things over the year that
Well,
they let
mate, I
run.
watched Matty John's show last night. There's a bloke there and he goes, mousetrap, and the bloke runs away and they pick up the ball and go and score.
But the point
Yeah,
is,
but it's gamesmanship. Yeah. That's part of any sport. Come on.
But the
That
referee
wasn't
did the
a
right
penalty.
thing.
yeah, he's got it 100% right, the referee. 100% right.
Oh, you reckon he should have got 2 to 3 weeks?
No,
for
he
this?
should have got suspended over, please.
I honestly worry about you sometimes. I did sit there.
Well, mate, can you learn the rules? That'll help.
Please.
Who won that battle then?
Please, knock
Oh,
out
mate,
bloke.
knockout.
Right, Bauer.